Listen, the main thing I want this podcast to be about, okay, is about us being friends, all right, and we fucking love.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2A Brotherhood podcast.
Good evening.
Welcome,
Good
welcome.
evening.
Special guest. We got
Yeah.
we got Preston on tonight. Dimitri, would you want to tell the chat how how you guys met?
So, this was like on my first TikTok account. I saw he was a pastor and MMA fighter, so I was sold.
Okay.
That was it.
That was it.
I've always been an MMA fan, and actually, before I forget, there was a quote. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future.
Praise God.
Yep.
It's always awesome to have that to have that anchor, to always know that, God's always looking out. He's always, providing, never to worry, be anxious for nothing,
Yep.
So it's this, I don't understand how people can live without Christ, but, it's like, once you have it, there's no going back,
Yeah. But Preston, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, okay. So my name is Preston Hawker. I'm in Virginia Beach. Yeah, I competed in mixed martial arts and Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu for about like 12 or 13 years. And I haven't had a fight in a few years, but it looks like there might be one on the horizon in the next couple of months. So that would be a Muay Thai fight. I wasn't even looking for a fight. It was kind of a joke, but somebody posted a flyer on Facebook, and I'm tapping on 40 years old, and I'm in good shape, but I don't worry about my weight anymore because I'm into the security industry. I'm a pastor, but I also have a security company, and we do private investigation, executive protection, armed security, and so.
Wow.
As a smaller guy, so I'm only 5'8" on a tall day, as my wife would say. I kind of needed a little more size, so I started benching and lifting and just getting bigger. And I don't really want to worry about weight cutting, so I saw this flyer for a Muay Thai event, and I just made a goofy comment. I was like, "Are there any old guys out there that don't want to cut weight but still want to scrap?" And this guy who wasn't even old, he's like 33, but he was like, I something like, "I'd love to fight you, ... respectfully." And so like, it looks like that fight's happening, but I fought for a while. I got started fighting. That's a whole story we could kind of dive down, but the short version is, I had a friend from like way back in middle school. I found out that she had gotten murdered, and I was like, I know every time I tell that part of the story, it's like, ugh. But yeah, so I found out like watching the news. I was in my in-laws' house, and I grew up like I always had this confidence, so I never really had to get into fights because everybody could kind of they just believed that I could beat them up for some reason, even though I never fought before. So, I think a lot of us men think that we can fight, but the fact is fighting is an art. There's an art form to it, and if you haven't studied that art form on some level, if you think you can fight, that's all you're doing is thinking you can fight. You don't really know. So like I got kind of propelled into studying. I call it not just studying fighting, but studying violence and learning how to win a fight, but also just survive violence. And one thing led to another. Jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai, and boxing and getting out of jiu-jitsu and really focusing more on wrestling because that was my base. And like, I wanted to fight in a cage because that was the safest place to do it. I like to test yourself. You know, it sounds kind of weird to some people, but the other option is I pick a fight in the street, and you never know what's going to happen there. So I wanted to like kind of ease my way in. So I signed up for an MMA fight, and I actually lost the split decision, but I found out that I really enjoyed the competition. So I just kept fighting, and I won a bunch and lost some. Won more than I lost, but I've had a good time. I've built some really close friendships along the way, even guys that I fought. You know, you guys have the 2A brothers, you know, like there's a brotherhood about it, you know, like when you really train really hard and you know the guy that you're about to fight has trained really hard, there's a certain level of respect that you guys end up having for each other that is just kind of indescribable. So like there's a couple of guys that I've even fought that I've only hung out with a couple times, but I've got such a high level of respect for them that I still consider them pretty close friends. So that's my
That's awesome.
my MMA background. I've done a bunch of EP jobs, you know, like executive protection jobs. That's kind of what our company cut our teeth on, was really PI work and executive protection work. We do have like some sites that we do armed security at, but you know, we were really born in the trenches, you know, doing these other jobs. So, which I did the EP thing. That came from Claire's death. My friend's name was Claire. That all came from Claire's death as well. I'm kind of randomly fairly comfortable in violent altercations. That's not to say I don't get nervous or terrified, feel like I'm going to throw up every time I fight. I'm not like boosting myself up to be some macho guy, but in that violent act, somehow I'm able to like just stay calm and react, or respond rather than react. And so I just felt like I needed to use that to help other people who might not be able to respond the same way. So we've got some other things that have come along, you know, with a nonprofit that we do to specifically help victims of violence. But it's a deep dive in all those conversations. We can go whichever way you want.
Any way you want to go. You're the guest. This is very interesting, right?
So, I mean, we could talk. You know, the nonprofit is called Guardians, and what we do is the base of what we do. It's not all we do, but basically what we do is when we have funding, so it's connected with our security company, but what we do is we raise funds so that we can afford to do these jobs. Because my guys that I hire, they have bills. They can't always do everything for free. Like it's not feasible to like go to work and not get paid. So we have to be able to pay our guys. So whenever it's feasible to put these kind of operations together, what we do is we find somebody who's been a victim of violence. Typically, people assume it's all females, like domestic violence, but it's not. It's not all just domestic violence. Like we had a client for a while who was a victim of gang violence. He got jumped and shot in the face, and shot in the back, and he survived. He was wheelchair bound, but the guy who shot him in the back was never arrested. So when he would go to court, he was like, as you can imagine, like terrified that this guy's like he's gonna be waiting in his driveway to finish the job so his boys don't get, you know, sentenced, you know, long sentences in prison. So we would go to his house, you know, we'd pick him up, take him to court, sit with him at court, get him back home, clear the house before we like finish the job. So that's our base of what we do for our guardians clients, is we pick them up at home. And like we have it kind of down to a science. Like we know at least the courts in our area, they have what's called a victims advocacy entrance. So like if you've been a victim, there's a special entrance for you, and a lot of people don't even know this, but there's a special entrance for you, typically around the back side of the building. It looks like a loading dock, but it's a special entrance. People can go, and they've got like a waiting room for you, so you don't have to like sit like in gin pop and like just wait for like if you're, let's just say it's a domestic violence issue and like a woman's been beaten by her husband or boyfriend and he got bonded out, which happens so often. And let's say like he got bonded out and you're sitting in the hallway and dude walks up who just beat the crap out of you, and now you're going to court. What's the chance that he's probably not going to physically assault her because he's at court, but like just think about the emotional trauma that she's going to have to go through just even seeing that man all by herself, and she doesn't have anybody to protect her. She doesn't feel protected. She has no confidence. So that work is really important, and that one really is especially close to my heart because of what happened with my friend Claire. It was a boyfriend, or technically ex-boyfriend, and that was like the playbook, like they had a falling out, one thing led to another. She moved out. He found her in a parking lot at a restaurant and pulled a gun and
Jeez.
And killed her and then killed himself like a complete douchebag.
Right.
So that's really what's super close to our hearts, is that whole project is like protecting people. Like I have a girl that goes to my church, and it's kind of a funny like contrast. So it was just this past Wednesday. I had a lady who comes to our church. She's got a new baby, and my mom came. She found me. She was like, "Preston, I need you to come talk to this lady." Long story short, her boyfriend slash baby daddy basically didn't want to have the kid, and she had the kid, and he threatened violence against her, talking about how he's going to kill her and kill the baby.
Jeez.
And so
that's a little extreme.
Yeah, right. Just go out to the store for milk like a lot of other dads. You don't have to kill anybody.
Or just say I messed up and I got to deal with it, right?
Right.
Man up.
Yeah, man up. But
I'm gonna kill you, then kill a baby. What?
If you don't want to man up, you want to be you don't have to kill nobody. Just like disappear. Just disappear.
Right.
But
so many men do it nowadays, right?
The nice thing is we were able to plug her straight into our nonprofit, because that's what it's there for. And actually, right before I got on with you guys, I was on with my business partner, because typically I like to do these jobs, but because of when the court date is, I'm actually scheduled to be teaching at a conference in Georgia, and so we were working out who's going to come take care of this lady, and her baby. So those things are all like real close to my heart. But we've got lots of stuff going on, from MMA, security,
Pastor, I wanted to ask you, It was called Guardians of the Children?
No, it's just called Guardians. The website is guardians-us.com,
I'll be
I think.
right back, okay?
Yep.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. Guardians-US.
US.com. I'd have to look at this. How terrible is it that I forgot my own website? I don't do that part. Hold on, I got a business card. I got all these business cards right here. No, .org. .org. I was right, except for the .org. Yeah, it's got like a logo, something like that on it.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. All right.
I don't do that part of the business. I know what I'm good at, and I stay in my lane.
Yeah, Josh is our tech guy.
Yeah.
So here's the website for the nonprofit if anybody's interested.
That's my business partner right there. That
veteran operated.
Yeah.
A beacon of hope for survivors of domestic violence.
Yeah.
Now that's something special right there.
Yeah, so we're still in like the baby stages. Like the guy that was up there that I pointed out, his name is Patrick, and he's like the older brother I never wanted or never knew it. But like we've done so many of these jobs. We've been blessed to be able to afford to do a lot of these jobs literally for nothing. And there's some of our people on our board of directors. That's my wife right there with the red hair. Bottom second from the right. That one, yeah. Been married for almost 20 years. October is 20 years.
That's awesome.
Congratulations to that.
I got married when I was like 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
I'm just kidding.
You had to be like 20.
I was 20. Yeah, I was
yeah.
Barely 20. Had no business getting married, but we did.
Hey, you guys are making it work.
We did, yeah. We've had it. Yeah, it's been fun, man. So
you can donate here, and I'll post the links to the website.
Appreciate it, man.
And everything. So
that's our big baby. Also got some other things in the works. I've got just developed an online course for church security. That's been like biggest. That's been my biggest project lately. Is
you definitely need that nowadays.
Yeah, so most of what you find for church security online is like everything is active shooter. And that's what's sexy. Like everybody wants to learn how to be like, I don't know, it's like Taken or something. Like they just want to be able to do all the cool moves and like clear rooms. But like
particular set of skills.
Thousands. Yeah, I've got a particular there are probably I wish I knew the number. I should know this number, but there's got to be 100,000 church services that happen every Sunday. And I know we just had a shooting at Lakewood a couple weeks ago, but the church shootings, when you look at like how many church services there are compared to how many church shootings there are, they're really few and far between. The problem the big problem that we have, and that's not to say that we don't touch on, surviving violence at churches and active shooter protocol and like just some of the basic like run, hide, fight type protocol. Like we go through all of that stuff in this course, but even bigger than that is like how many kids get victimized in a Sunday school class. That's inexcusable. Like you can't, there's no excuse. Or even like heart attacks. Like people hate to think that a heart attack could happen on a Sunday morning during worship. And it's terrible that it would happen, but the truth is it does. And sometimes we need to pray, but sometimes you need to know where the AED is and go get that joker and save this dude's life. And so like we go over everything from our first module is just talking about how to be situationally aware, like how to pay attention. Like that's a fancy word for paying attention, right? So like we just teach people how to pay attention and how to train your people to pay attention. We talk about emergency planning, like how to plan for emergencies, how to figure out what emergencies are reasonable for you to plan for. Like, is it possible that there could be a tornado in Virginia Beach? Possible. Is it probable? No. So do I need to have this extensive plan written out for tornadoes? Probably not. I need to hit hurricanes a lot harder because that's a lot more reasonable. So we like teach people how to figure out what's what's the most probable. We weigh. That's what we do a lot of, is weighing possible versus probable. And so like we do emergency planning, and we teach people, real simply, we teach people how to build a volunteer team, like a safety team, because some people have to have a safety team, not a security team, because if you call it security, all of a sudden your insurance will go crazy. But we're gonna
it sounds like you're escalating it.
Exactly. So like be a safety team but operate like a security team. You know, like call it whatever you want. I know there's I think it's considered a mega church in Miami called VOO Church, and they call their team like crowd control or something like that. Whatever, call it whatever you want, but still.
Is that one pastor's church? I forgot his name. He's got the slick back and the Ferraris. I forgot his name.
Are you thinking Stephen Furtick?
Yeah, maybe he during the hurricane he shut the doors to the church and said it was telling people to go elsewhere to take shelter, and when it got full, he said come back when everywhere else is full.
Oh shoot, that doesn't sound like this guy. This guy's actually pretty cool.
That sounds like Joel Osteen.
Yeah, that was his name, Joel. Joel Osteen.
Joel, no, his church is the one that just got shot up a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, Preston, you working in security. I was just wondering, what do you think will have to be done to stop school shootings? Or, to be... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think we ought to protect our schools the same way we protect every other government building.
Didn't I say that? I said the exact same thing.
I think people. So, there's some overt things that we do that cause shooters to not want to want to go to that property. So, what we have to do is we have to create hard target. We have to take a real honest look at our facility, and this is what we do even with our church security.
I was thinking it's kind of the same thing. You know what I mean?
It is. And so that's actually the next thing that we're doing within our company. So we're doing church security because it really makes sense. I've been a pastor for 20 years. And so we're kind of marrying the two things together. It makes sense. The next step after we launch this is what we want to do is we're going to develop an online course for private schools. So private schools can understand some things that you should be looking for, how to identify anomaly. So establish your baseline, figure out what is an anomaly for your community. Is it normal for people to have piercings all over their face and wearing an overcoat in the summer? Is that normal? Because if it's normal, then maybe that's not a whole lot of red flags or even yellow flags. It's just, that's a Tuesday. But if it's abnormal, you might want to you might want to have an interaction with that guy. You might want to lock the doors and not let him in, which is an odd thing, tackling security in the church, because sometimes security causes you to interact with somebody in a way that might not feel welcoming. And so sometimes churches are targets because people know that Christians are supposed to love everybody. And sometimes our desire to love everyone causes us to really be soft targets. And so like what we've done in our courses, we've developed this idea that we believe you can be inviting but also secure. We believe there's a way, there's a recipe to be both. You can welcome people, but also make sure your people are taken care of and are safe. So yeah, going to the schools. The reason why we're looking at private schools is because public schools are run by the city and the state, and they are so hard to get into. They're so hard to just try to help. There was a shooting a couple years ago, and I went to all of the schools like nearest my house. What was that one school where like was that Uvalde, where like the cops they just like sat at the door?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that also. Yeah,
getting hand sanitizer.
The resource officer didn't even enter the school. The one police officer who was stationed at the school, but he works for the state, and he did not, he didn't go engage the target.
This will sound really backwards for a pastor to say, but that guy should be shot.
Yeah.
Like
he's there to save lives and do what he need to do, even put his life on the line.
He should be, at the very least, he should be in prison. Like, I went to all the schools near my house, brought business cards to all of the schools near my house, and I was like, listen, if anything happens, this was like a week after, and I used to coach wrestling at middle school. I coached wrestling for 12 years as the head coach, a bunch of other years before that as an assistant coach. So I still know a bunch of faculty. So I went to the elementary, middle school, high school, dropped off business cards and was like, listen, not that I think anything's going to happen, but if it does, call the police, but also call me, because I'll get a team of guys here who kick down doors for fun, and they're not going to like just sit in the hallway and wait for kids to get shot. We're going to go take care of business, and we'll let the cops do it. But if they're not doing the job, we'll just get it done.
Yeah.
The police officer in Uvalde, he actually went to trial, and they found him not guilty. Yeah, they found him not guilty because technically the police do not have to protect and serve you.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because that's West Texas, you know what I mean?
But that's on the cars. It says protect and serve if we want to, apparently.
It's the small print.
It's very small. The car number's really big.
The taxes went to him standing outside the school. That's where all the taxpayer dollars was.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get paid enough to do this.
I had another question for you. You know, with everything and you being in security and everything, do you think America has a gun problem or a mental,
mental health problem?
Yeah, mental health problem.
Mental health problem, absolutely. Yeah. If it was a gun problem, they would know about it, because all the people. I mean, there are so many guns in circulation. So many guns in circulation. If there was a gun problem, we would know about it, because a lot more people would be dropping.
Actually,
it's a mental health issue.
Had this conversation with some older people. They were telling me back in the day you could get a gun in the mail without background checks and all this other stuff, and there wasn't no school shootings or anything like that.
I have cousins who are barely older than me, just a few years older than me, who used to bring their shotguns to school for hunting day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you go hunt, it's hunting day. Everybody bring your 12 gauges. We're going hunting today.
Right.
And then you got like 40 high school kids marching through the woods, all armed with 12 gauge shotguns. There were no school shootings back then. You know why? Because Billy and Bubba, they would have run to grab their shotguns out of the truck. Handle business on their own.
Yeah. There is a school, I forgot where it is. I'm gonna look it up, and but basically they have marksmanship as a class now in the high school. So it's starting to make its way back a little bit. I mean, this is the only one that I've heard of, but it looks like people are starting to like understand like we need to get kids more comfortable in these kinds of situations and comfortable around firearms to the point that they can, you know, use them safely and then also know how to use them if they have to.
Yeah.
There's a Minnesota high school trap shooting team.
I have one more question for you, Preston. Do you think teachers should be armed?
No, that's kind of a general. I don't think all teachers should be armed, but I think
Mhm.
Yeah,
teachers
I'm not
should
saying
have an
all.
yeah, I think teachers should have an opt-in option. So I don't think all teachers should sign their rights away when they walk onto a school campus. I
Yeah.
think if there was some proper training, because here's the other thing. I know people always say, you know, if you have a gun in the home, then the chances that you know, somebody in your house is going to get shot skyrockets. Of course it does, because now there's a gun in the house. You can't shoot yourself without a gun, so of course
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a bad person, right?
Yeah, so like I do know, like, what do they call it? There's accidental discharges or whatever words you want to use. So I think if the teacher would like to go through proper training and the same way armed security officers go through proper training and they
Yeah, of course.
requalify, they're requalifying every year, then absolutely, I think teachers should have the ability to carry if that's what they want to do. I think it, you know, is it going to be open carry? Do they have to conceal? I think those are some questions we could probably navigate through, but I don't think teachers should have to like surrender their rights when they step on campus.
But I also should think along, you know, with the gun training and everything, they should learn better de-escalating, you know, better de-escalating skills also.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of you know, soft skills versus hard skills.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in the security industry, and you know, I started bouncing at clubs, and you know, I've done some ghetto clubs. So they call them members only clubs, but we call them gang members only clubs. And I've been and still, you know, I've done the executive protection stuff. I've worked with like politicians. I've done pretty much everything there is to do. And I'm such a fan of soft skills versus hard skills. And in all of those different scenarios, I can still say I've never had to hit somebody without a glove on. I've never punched somebody in the face. Wrestling has saved my life when it comes to like physical altercations, having control of body. Wrestling is just superior to everything, at least in my opinion, my experience. Wrestling
over
is superior.
BJJ.
Yeah, I've used jiu-jitsu. Like I've cross-collar choked somebody with a suit jacket before, but like that's actually my best fight story ever. I made a guy crap his pants. It was my best fight.
Go into it. You can't tease us like that.
So
tell us what happened.
I was working at a nicer club, but wherever there's alcohol, they're idiots.
Stupid people.
And
Exactly.
they start drinking liquid courage, and they think they can beat everybody up. So I was working. I'm in a suit, and a fight breaks out, and I go to break up this fight, and I'm breaking them up, and the one guy goes to hit me, so I catch him, and then I do an outside foot sweep, put him to the ground. I go knee and belly, cross collar choke with a suit jacket, but like I was fairly experienced at this point and knew that he might not know that I'm security. He might think that I'm his friend trying to fight him. So I wasn't too offended at the fact that he was trying to hit me. Like I controlled him. I didn't put all my weight on him. I just kind of leaned back a little bit. I was like, hey, man, listen, you got to chill. You got to chill. I wasn't even like cinching the choke, you know. I'm just, hey, you got to chill. And he's like, all right. You got to get up. My chest is my chest is hurting. So I'm like, I'm about to kill this dude, like on accident. I need to let him up because I definitely don't want him dying with me, like with my
On
knee,
top of him.
like on top of him. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to let you up, but you just can't hit me. Let's figure out what's going on. So I go to let him up. And as soon as he like gets to his feet, dude tries to ghetto whop me. And I catch him again. Same thing. Catch him again. Same foot sweep. Then I go to cross collar choke, knee in belly button, but this time I pop my hips up. I'm pointing my knee to the concrete. I squeeze the choke, and you just hear it. Squeeze it out of him, dude. It's easily my best fight story because anybody can like hit somebody and knock them out, but I don't know anybody who's ever made somebody else poop their pants. Like
that's worse than getting slapped, man.
Right? Don't tell anybody about this. Do not tell him. Do not.
You made him relax.
You gotta
relax your body.
I just shit my pants. Like you sure enough did.
I'm like, is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted?
Oh, that's hilarious. So, what kind of training do you recommend for gun owners just to protect their homes? Like any specific drills besides like the fundamentals of learning how to shoot?
Well, if you don't have the opportunity to train a lot, so like I understand people buy firearms, they don't have a lot of experience, and then they realize how expensive ammunition is.
Yeah.
And so how expensive like real training is, not just like putting a paper target down a range and then firing from a stationary position at whenever you want to with no timer, and you're just like putting holes in paper. Like real good training can get expensive, and bullets are expensive. So anybody that's looking for home defense, I highly recommend a shotgun for a few reasons. I know some people are like, oh, if you cock the shotgun, people are going to run. You can't bank on that.
Nah,
you just can't bank that somebody's going to run just because they. Yeah, I have no idea what's inside the door. But different kinds of ammunition that you can buy for a 12 gauge. I've got a couple 12 gauges at my house right now. My wife knows how to. My wife knows how to load it. She knows how to shoot it. And the nice thing is, like, I got into a discussion just about a year ago with a guy who was, realistically, he's got so much more experience than me. He was a Green Beret, like, special operator type dude. And like, he was preaching AR-15, which I have an AR. It's fine. Like, I'm not against ARs at all. But he wants everybody to have an AR, and AR is the best home defense. ARs can be a great home defense. You've got all those rounds, however, I think context is key. So, like, do you have the ability to train with it? Do you have the ability to put in the time? Do you know how to move and shoot? Do you know what kind of ammunition you have? Are you gonna miss your target and actually hit your kid? Because of the ammunition that you have in your weapon. Like, so there's. Say it again.
I said, like, AR bullet is zip through a house, but buckshot will too. A handgun ammunition will also, it is zip through a whole house like butter.
It depends on like, yeah, you just have to know your house. You have to know your layout. So like, for me, I basically have like one long hallway. And I love the idea of being able to point a 12 gauge down my long hallway and drop a few rounds down that hallway. And that's a bottleneck for me. And it's an easily defensible position. So shotgun is fantastic. So I highly recommend shotguns. I think they're a lot easier to get.
Manipulate.
Yeah. I was about to use the word proficient, but that's probably not the right word. Effective. Effective. They're easier
Effective,
to get effective. Yeah.
So would you say birdshot or buckshot?
Buckshot. Well, buckshot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Double aught, but
that's what I have is double aught buckshot.
Yeah.
I do have some birdshot, but just for fun. But like, here's the thing: is if you pull a gun, like I've heard the argument of like birdshot has it's less likely that you're going to kill somebody with it. But here's the thing: if I'm using a gun, it's because we've gotten to this deadly point.
Yeah, of course.
And I know that I can talk my way out of a lot of things, and I know because of my training. And I'm not saying I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu and I'm a world class anything. I'm just better than a lot of people. I'm better than people that haven't trained before. So like, I know if my voice didn't work and my hand to hand isn't an option, and you pull a deadly weapon, so I have to pull a deadly weapon. I'm not using my deadly weapon for less than deadly reason.
Right.
If there is an option for less than deadly, I'm not pulling my gun.
That's true.
You guys see it like in the news when there's like a cop shoots somebody and kills them because they were trying to stab. It was a couple years ago. The one girl who was like trying to stab the other girl, and all the comments on YouTube was, "Well, they could have shot her in the leg. Well, she could have stabbed that girl in the throat." Like this cop doesn't know what her intentions are. And obviously, you've never shot a firearm with adrenaline pumping through your veins. You've never been in that situation. It was deadly force. He had to use deadly force to stop it.
Right.
Yeah, she was actually going for this part of her.
Yeah,
The girl, she was going with the knife. Yeah.
Bent back over the hood of the car or something like that.
Yeah, and she was about to stab her.
And people were trying to say like they should have used a taser, but when you're all of your muscles tense up, it still could have been a stabbing. So.
And tasers aren't always 100% effective.
That's true. Yeah.
Tasers are not. If I don't remember what like season we were in, but if it's a jacket and it doesn't make a connection,
skin contact,
then if it doesn't make the connection, then it doesn't work. Now you just wasted time. If he had used the taser and it didn't work and that girl killed the other girl, he would have been put on trial for not shooting the girl. Like cops such a
negligent.
Yeah.
Even sometimes clothes will mess with a bullet, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's why they do the denim test. They add those layers of denim, when they do like ballistics gels and like plywood or 2x4s, whatever, and stuff like that. But when it comes to your friend who the special forces operator, in the military, obviously, most of combat arms, at least people who aren't special operations, spend their whole careers obviously using M4s or M16s. So they're the most proficient with that style, that platform. Which obviously, like you said, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're proficient, if you're 100% proficient with an AR, then go ahead and use that for home defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like what you're most comfortable with.
There's a lot more rounds in a magazine for an AR than even for like a bullpup mag-fed shotgun. Semi-automatic shotgun. It's only gonna. I guess you can get bigger magazines, but like typically like 5, I think.
Yeah. Bigfoot one in the chamber.
But so there's
unless you get the drum, they have those
you can get that
big drums that are like this big.
Yeah.
You need the AA-12, the fully automatic.
One day.
I had another question. I asked a lot of people that come on here. What do you think is the best concealed carry caliber?
So I have a 9, but I also have a 380. So I've had that conversation a bunch of times, and so I carry my 380. So I've got an LCP.
Nice.
And
that's a nice one.
Yeah, I really like it, and I carry it. The reason why I have that one is because that gives me no excuse for not carrying. It's actually what I have on me right now. It's got like one of those little clips on the side of it, so it don't even have like a holster to it. It's just
a clip draw.
Yep. So if I'm wearing like some gym shorts, I can throw my LCP on my hip. And some people like they have a problem with stopping power of a 380. And like my argument is a 45 better than a 9? Absolutely. You know, with stopping power, is a 9 or is a 9 better than a 380? Yeah. Is a 380 better than a 22? Yeah. Is a 22 better than nothing? Yeah. So I think you figure out what you can comfortably shoot and what you can comfortably carry, and you go with that. So I got that LCP also because like when I'm doing some EP work and I'm in a suit, it's sometimes hard to conceal a gun that's much bigger. I'm not a big frame. And so I can actually, like the way I can carry it appendix carry and tuck it underneath my belt. So when we do orientation for our security company, and our guys will have already, and girls have already gone through like our security training, through what? Oh, hold on one sec. Are we there? We're back.
Yeah.
I had to switch on my AirPod. That one died. So our people already go through like what's for us the Department of Criminal Justice Service like training, so they'll know how to search people, and then we do our own orientation, our own training, and I have my people search me, and I put that little LCP right behind my belt, right up front next to my nuts, because nobody wants to like. They don't want to search their new boss. They're not trying to get a handful of their new boss like on their first day. So I'll tuck it up there, and I swear like 80% of people fail. There's always that like one Navy dude that doesn't care. He's like 50 years old and has no modesty.
What you got under there?
One.
Looks like blessed and the gun. You're blessed and you got a gun.
You got a gun, or you happy to see me?
So,
I really like the
gun, or you do everything. You crazy, man. So you think there is an advantage to like 45 or 40 cal over a 9, basically, right?
I think there are advantages.
Okay.
One is necessarily better than the other. I think they have advantages. Like there's the bigger round. Like I would prefer to not have an exit wound this big. You know, if I'm considering like which bullet would I rather get shot with? Probably not a 45. If I have to pick which one, I'd probably rather a 9 than a 45.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to get shot at all. But that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, right.
But also, there's so many good rounds these days.
Or a pellet gun.
Yeah, screw that. I don't even like to get hit.
Right.
Definitely don't want to get shot.
You ain't lying, man. You ain't lying.
Too old for that.
No. So you said you used to have a podcast, and you said you had like Rory McDonald, Leonard Garcia, and Benson Henderson.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
had them.
The Benson Henderson had the toothpick in his mouth.
I know he didn't have a toothpick in his mouth. He was carrying a baby around.
Oh,
Oh yeah, because he has kids now. Yeah.
A baby
No, because
around.
back in the day, he used to fight with a toothpick in his mouth.
mhm.
I know, and then they caught him, and then
Yeah.
like the refs checked his mouth every time before he got in the ring. They added a whole new rule.
Yeah.
Like pre-fight, everybody has to get their mouth checked because of Benson
Mhm.
Henderson fighting with toothpicks.
Well, he said he would concentrate on keeping it in the right place, so that would keep his heart rate down. At least that's what I heard. He said.
Yeah, that's nuts.
crazy.
Beast, man. He was a
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah,
No, not
That's
was. He still
absolutely
is a
wild.
beast, man. Like you can't lose them skills.
Yeah. He's actually doing karate combat. Or at least I saw him on a couple of like the karate
Yeah.
combat.
Yeah, I like Karate Combat.
Yeah, I've never been able
I
to
haven't
like
watched
I've
it.
seen clips.
Yeah, I haven't watched it really consistently, but I've seen a couple of their like. I think I've just seen it on YouTube,
Yeah.
but I like the concept a lot. I grew up like wrestling, so most of my MMA fights, where I do well, I end up on the ground.
Mhm.
But I also really like competing in Muay Thai or like that, like a low kickboxing, like a glory kickboxing rules.
Mhm.
Because I don't like regular kickboxing because you can't kick their legs, and like low kicks are everything.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hold on, you can't leg kick in regular kickboxing?
Not in American kickboxing. Everything has to be above the waist.
Oh, okay. That's why back in the day they would fight the Muay Thai fighters, and the Muay Thai fighters would just chop their legs down.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
No, because they didn't know. They didn't know what was up with the low
Would you
kick.
say a good leg kick is better than a liver kick? Or more
If you
effective,
touch
not
the-
better.
If you touch the liver, you're shutting that body down.
Yeah.
But so like, what's the saying? You want to use your longest weapon against their closest target. So like, my longest weapon is going to be my leg, and their closest target to me is going to be their lead leg. So like hitting the liver is going to be a little bit more difficult. So I can probably tap their leg a lot more than I can tap their liver. At least in my experience, that's how it's worked for me. I love a low kick. Low kicks are great because even against a really strong boxer, like I fought a guy once, and his name was DeMar Holloway, and he hit me so hard I lost feeling in my right arm. He punched me with a right cross, hit me in my jaw, and my right hand went numb. I had to shake it out. But every time he threw a combination, I landed a low kick. It didn't matter what happened. I just kept chopping that lead leg down. And by the second round, dude, his punching power, I could tell there was a massive difference. It was because I had like chopped his leg, and all punching power comes from the floor or in your hips. You know, some people say it's your hips. My first coach used to say punching power comes from the floor because the way you have to like, you know, you pivot on your feet or like you're moving forward with the jab. So like once I started chopping that leg and I was getting real consistent with it, he just didn't have the movement. He wasn't as fast and he just wasn't as strong. But low kicks are glorious, man. I always say if I ever if I ever end up in like a real street fight, one of the first things I'm going to do is chop somebody's leg.
There's a video of this little kid. I mean, he looked like a little kid, but he's probably like 20 something years old. And there's these three dudes that are trying to fight him. And that's exactly what he's doing. The guy's coming at him and he just kicks his legs. The guy falls down. He gets up, kicks him again. And then the guy comes in and now he's expecting to get kicked in the leg. And he just hits him with a cross and catches him right on the jaw and knocks him out.
Yeah.
The next guy comes, same thing. The last guy, he just scoops up and dropped him on his head. Like just double leg takedown, hit his head, and he was out. And then he just walked away.
So you said that about the feet. Like, what do you think about Chuck Liddell laying people out as he was backpedaling back in the day?
Some of that is just accuracy.
Accuracy.
So, like,
hitting that button.
Like just knowing anatomy is like that's when you get really good at fighting, is when you know not just like what to do with your body, but where to hit them on theirs. Like where nerves are, like where the off button is. So like there's a nerve behind your jaw. So if you get hit in the jaw, then the jawbone goes into that nerve and shut your legs down. You don't necessarily go to sleep, but like that's why you see like flash knockouts where the guy like hits the ground and then pops right back up like he's ready to go. But he's not really ready to go. He just thinks he is. So like,
what happened?
Like that's Anderson. Yeah, I'm ready. Anderson Silva like dropping
Forrest Griffin
like that.
Just
walking and he was just flicking his wrist, like telling him, like, "Get out of here."
And then Forrest Griffin going.
I swear, dude. I swear, if I could hang out with any one fighter from back in the day, it would be Forrest Griffin because I think he's hilarious.
Yeah,
he's absolutely hilarious. Like one of the realest dudes. I think one of the funniest things. Also, his interviews are always funny. One of the funniest things he said. I don't remember after which fight it was after, but he was like, "They're like, Forrest, what's next for you? Do you have any opponents you want?" And he had lost like 2 or 3 fights in a row, and he was like, "Man, I really hope they give me somebody with a handicap because I can really need to live right now." Maybe somebody with a
with a handicap. That's funny.
The clip.
Yeah, this is the fight right here. Josh, this might be copyright infringement.
It's just a clip. It's not the whole fight.
Oh, okay. It's on the internet, so hopefully we don't get. It's on YouTube. I think Preston just dropped out.
Yeah, his got a little laggy.
Yeah.
See, look at that right there. That duck and that bottom weave he just did right there, man. He did back, he ducked, and then he backed up again. Back, duck, back, bam. Left hook. Left jab right there, man.
Like Preston said, knowing anatomy, man. Like
Anderson was just ridiculously accurate. That was his that was his thing.
Super
what
long
Joe
arms.
Rogan say, laser beam accuracy.
Yeah.
He's got a far reach.
Yeah.
Well, it's also the way he used to. Dang, wait. Let me see if Preston's getting back on.
He back.
Because,
like, bro, he didn't even have his guard up.
Mm-hmm.
Like mid-step, Forrest Griffin just drops.
Bloop.
Well, he was coming in, right? So he's coming in. There's all that force coming in, and then now he just gets. So it's the punch, and then also him coming in.
His body was like, "What the hell just happened?"
Right. Let's see.
Nope. Bam.
Like he's right outside of his range, man. You see Anderson Silva?
Yeah, dude.
If they would have connected, man, that probably would have dropped him.
Dude, that second punch was probably made contact, but like just like
Look at him,
rubbed
like-
his face barely. And look, he's mid-step and he just gets knocked out.
Because all his weight was coming forward. You see him stepping forward about to hit. Try to hit him. Look. Boop. So all his force was coming forward, and he just probably just whipped it out there and hit his chin, and he was no. Like Forrest Griffin was mad. It is mad nice, man.
Yeah. And then Anderson Silva got his leg broke.
That was a long way down the line.
Yeah. But you remember that?
Yeah. I lost money on that. I lost $50 to Dimitri on that fight.
Yep. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Where's Austin? Austin?
Right?
I don't know.
It's cool, man. He probably dealing with family stuff. Can't be mad.
Can't be mad. Each of these cats get a minute and a half apiece. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yo, this has been an awesome podcast, man.
Right? Preston, can you hear us? Oh, man, I hate the internet sometimes.
Yeah.
Can't be mad.
Right? Do you want to see if we could shut it down, Joshy, and then see if he'll get back on there?
Well, see if we want to hop back on before we do that.
Well, he's on. He just texted me.
Oh.
He said, I can hear you guys, but we can't hear him or see him.
Will he have to restart his or?
Well, he did. He just tried to get back on.
Hey, why not, man? We might as well, man.
All right.
Yeah, see if we could stop it, Joshy, and bring it back up. See if that helps.
All right.
You want to do that ending for it, Josh?
Yeah, might as well.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. So I will do that. I will do it.
Once you get into that, you start getting into a situation, the slippery slope, where all of a sudden you're going to really violate the Second Amendment. I don't want to do anything to violate the Second Amendment. To me, the Second Amendment is very important.
He said he's going to shut down and...
there you go,
he's
right
already
there.
on. Hey,
Look at that.
Right? God is good.
Right?
All the time. Good. Damn.
Are we still recording, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still.
Psych, it's not over.
It's like that's the wrong number.
I think it booted me when we went to cut to that video.
Yeah, this app is really nice because like it's recording us right now. We could make our clips on here and we could go live from here. But the technical difficulties that we get with this app, it drives us bonkers.
It's real willy-nilly lately.
Yeah, and we pay for it, so you think we'd get
right?
Yeah.
At first
It's not free.
It's sliced bread. Now it's like, what the?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching. It looked like I was still on with you guys. It didn't actually boot me. My video was up. I was watching you guys.
That's how it always is.
Yeah.
Like you don't look like you're frozen or anything, and you can hear everything, but the other people can't see or hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good times. All right. Well, let's get back to it. So we were just watching the Anderson Silva Forrest Griffin fight. Yeah. I think that's like the 100th time we've played that fight on this podcast because it's so awesome.
Yeah, it's a
How about
classic
this?
one, man.
What do you think the best MMA knockout is, Preston? In your opinion?
Like who did it, or like the best way to knock somebody out.
The fight, yeah, who did it and who got,
had the
you
best
know,
knockout?
and who got knocked out, you know what I mean?
Probably off the top of my head, Dan Henderson, Michael Bisping.
Yeah, I was going for that one too, and Gonzaga and Crow Cop.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
when Crow Cop like broke his ankle when he
Yeah.
fell.
It was like this.
Crow Cop got Crow Cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did Dan Henderson won like Dan Henderson want to pay back on that one, man?
Yeah, God. He said I was trying to shut him up for good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
like,
on he was on the Joe he was on the Joe Rogan podcast like a couple months ago, and so his like sign for his business is him jumping to punch Michael Bisping. And when Joe Rogan brought it up, he was like, I don't know why Bisping is mad at that.
all that shit he talked, man. You know, all that shit he did. Like, why is he even mad? You know he deserved that, man.
Yeah,
I remember,
that was.
I think it was Bisping. He was on The Ultimate Fighter the same year that Matt Hamill. You remember Matt Hamill?
Yeah, the deaf guy.
Yeah, and Michael Bisping was talking trash about Matt Hamill because
Not being able to hear.
So he was like making he was making like some noises, like in the kitchen, and like, and Bisping is like dogging him for not being able to like talk.
But,
and my wife's cousin is deaf. So like,
oh God!
When my wife saw that, she was like, "Man, someone needs to kill that dude." Fast forward,
Matt Hamill
just about did.
Isn't Matt Hamill the only loss that what's his name had
Yeah.
John
Jones.
Yep, John Jones. And that was
and that was
qualification.
Yeah, the 12-6 elbow.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're good. They're trying to get rid of that stupid rule as we speak. That apparently it's going to happen this year, because the only reason they put that on there is because when UFC came in, the freaking the brick breaking.
Yeah, I love Matt Hamill, man.
Yeah. Beast, man.
I follow him on Facebook still. He's a good wrestling coach.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, he slept that guy.
Yeah.
That's Munoz.
Yeah. Mark Munoz. Mark Munoz is a beast, man.
I met him a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. The Filipino wrecking machine.
Dude's a cool dude, man. Like, he walked into I was at a sushi place, and he walked in, and we just like talked for like 15 minutes. He was in Virginia Beach for a wrestling tournament. His son was wrestling, which his son now wrestles for like Arizona or something like that. But he was here for a wrestling tournament. I was a wrestling coach, so we like talked it up for a minute. He's a cool dude.
Mm-hmm. That's mad cool, man.
What was his last fight? Was it against Chris Weidman when Weidman caught him with that elbow coming in and like split him open?
Who?
Was that his last fight? I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, I could look
Munoz?
it up.
Munoz?
Yeah, Munoz.
I don't think that was his last fight.
Here, I'll look it up on SureDog. Josh, are you going to look it up? Because you're the tech guy. You know how to type and stuff.
Mark Munoz, Luke Barnett.
No, okay.
Rowan Carniero.
I don't think it. Oh, those.
That was the last one. February 28th
of this year or last year.
Here's a. Let me just pull up the.
If you go to SureDog.com, it'll give all the wins and losses next to each other. They'll give like a list of everyone that he's fought professionally.
Alexander Munoz.
Preston, what's your record?
MMA, 5-4. Man, I've taken a ton of. Huh?
As long as your wins more than your losses, you're good.
That's why I was like, I need to get one more fight and win because I can't go out like 4-4. Never been cut. No, that's not true either. I had one small cut in my last fight. The tiniest cut. This dude came out and jabbed me in my face. Like in like the first like 10 seconds. He was like 6 foot, 6'1", something like that, and popped me with a jab. And like cut me that fast. Like, dang.
Like, did you have the grease on your face? Did you have the Vaseline on your face?
I had the Vaseline and everything. Yeah, it was the smallest cut, but I shot a low single, and like I saw the blood drip off my eyebrow. I was like, "Are you?" I remember having like this whole like conversation with myself. Like, did I really just get cut?
I'm like, what the fuck?
Nobody makes me bleed my
That's a classic.
Right, man. Right.
Yeah, they were on the Super Bowl. Did you guys see like the Usher's whatever his outfits, and they compared them to dodgeball?
I did not see that. That's funny though. That's so funny. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Dude, the internet is undefeated. Like as I was watching it and I was on Instagram, it literally popped up. Like as he's performing, somebody was like, I could get a bunch of views and likes. I'm gonna make this meme.
Somebody was at dress rehearsal and saw that.
It's like,
They had that in the chamber.
Yeah. No, but what one of the craziest knockouts that submissions, besides like Paul Harris that never let go of his leg locks, was when John Jones submitted Lyoto Machida against the cage. He had a guillotine, standing guillotine, and he had him against the cage. And when he let him go, like there was no life in Lyoto Machida.
Yeah.
He flopped down like a rag doll, and then he's like looking at the camera like that. I was like, oh my goodness.
Kill that man.
Yeah.
Then there was Demetrius Johnson, his like suplex to the armbar.
Yeah.
Give
that was
man a
awesome.
Blue belt already. He was still a white belt.
He's a beast, man.
What?
Yeah, he was a white belt. He didn't really do like, I think maybe he was a blue belt. But that was the whole thing, was like he wasn't really doing the whole gi thing, so he didn't have like a black belt. Like, I'll better fast track him to the end.
Right? That was awesome.
Yeah, it was incredible.
When they asked him, like, how'd you come up with that? He's like, I do that all the time in practice.
I practiced that. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that all the time in practice.
Like, you guys don't do that in practice? What do you mean?
Like, no.
You guys don't drill?
Like, they drilled it in my head.
He's like, well, I was playing a video game.
There was a glitch. I went to go suplex him, but then I ended up in an armbar. I was like,
I could actually do that. He plays a lot of video games, too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. He
used to do streaming.
Yeah, I know in one interview he said if he could make as much money playing video games as he does fighting, he would just play video games because it doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
He's a smart man.
Dude, worst trade in MMA history was Ben Askren and Demetrius Johnson.
Easy.
Oh my goodness, that was so bad. But he's doing pretty good in ONE FC. I think he's the champ again over there.
Yeah, he's still doing his thing.
Yep. And he had that one fight where it was Raw Tank. It was the first round was just Muay Thai, and then the second round was MMA. And Demetrius Johnson said he was like, "Listen, I just need to survive the first round because I'm not gonna beat him this way." And then that second round, he was like, "This is the only round I got to take him down, so I got to take him down."
So who do y'all think the best heavyweight is? Like the GOAT of heavyweights?
Brock Lesnar. I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, I got a few others that might be a little better than.
No, Stipe on paper is the best heavyweight. He defended the championship more than anybody else.
Mm.
Stipe. I think one
So
of my
that's your
favorite
vote?
heavyweights though is Randy Couture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's the best, but he's
Randy Couture
my
hold his
favorite.
own, man.
Yeah.
yeah,
He came out
He-
of retirement because everybody sucked and he wanted to win the title again.
Mhm.
yeah.
It was back in
Who
the
knocked
days
his
of
tooth out, man? I can't remember who knocked his tooth out. Couture.
Lyoto Machida.
Yeah.
He did the Karate Kid crane kick and caught him right in the face.
He sure did.
Mhm.
Hit right in the teeth.
And then he
Remember,
looked in the.
Chuck Liddell was the first one. Chuck Liddell was the first one to knock him out, man.
Backing up.
Yeah, Chuck Liddell knocked out some good people, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those old days of the UFC.
Yeah, man. So I used to work at Blockbuster, Preston, right? So, and I got 5 free rentals a week. All right. So what I would do is I would rent the UFC on DVD or VHS, and then I would go over Josh's house. So Josh is the youngest of 6, right? And me and Rob were friends with his brother Tony, his brother Ben, rest in peace. And Josh was like, I don't know, how old were you, Josh? Like 10 years old?
Yep, 9 or 10.
Yeah, 9 or 10 years old. Yeah. So I would bring these over to the house and we would watch them like they were live. Like for the longest time, we thought Andre Arlovsky was the UFC champion, right? Because we didn't know what happened afterwards because nothing was on TV.
Yeah.
Arlovsky was laying some good people out too until he got that chin tested and it was like a fine china.
Affliction, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He fought for Affliction.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You remember that? And he did that. He went to go do a jump knee, dropped both of his hands, and Fedor put him to sleep.
Yeah, he overhanded him. He was
overhanded. Yeah.
He was in the corner.
Is a beast, man. Fedor is a beast.
Yep.
The recovery of Kevin Randleman when he was fighting Fedor, I thought he killed him. When he suplexed him and he landed on his neck like this, I was like, he's dead. And then he just like...
I would have died.
Yeah.
I would have died.
I would have laid there.
Yeah, I would have pretended. Don't do that to me again.
Nah, because how much secret sauce Kevin Randleman was on, he was going to hit you.
Yeah.
The juiciest of the juices.
That was pride, dude. That was pride. All right. They literally had it in the... Yeah, under contract it said we will test you for drugs and this drug, blah blah blah. But in the bottom it said we will not test you for steroids. So go ham.
Oh man! You steroids till your heart explode. We ain't gonna test you for the shit.
Hey, they had a great idea. There was amazing fights on over there. The face stomps.
Bob Sapp was just losing fights to get money. He's probably like, get bet against me, man.
Dude, he was 360 with a 6-pack, though. Just think about that. 360 pounds with a 6-pack.
Yeah,
that's
but,
crazy.
How tall is he, man?
I think he's like 6'7" or 6'5". He's huge, dude. His head is like
6'7", 6'5". That's a little bit. If it was 5'11", 300 something with a 6-pack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but he would be like just wide.
He's 6'5".
Yeah,
6'5", 350.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
With a freaking 6-pack, though, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So that means he has to be under 15% body fat.
The rest is juice.
That was a sideshow back then.
Yeah.
That was a sideshow back in the day. Like
No, so
Don Fry. Remember the Don Fry fight?
Yeah.
I love Don Fry.
They just grabbed each other by the back of the head, just like.
Man, Don Fry should have been in BKFC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don
He-
Fry was a beast though. You remember Shamrock was
Hell
was
yeah.
in huh?
Which one, Ken or Frank?
Yeah. You're talking about Ken.
No, Frank was in Pride, right?
Mm-mm.
Well, that I don't know, one of them.
So Ken Shamrock, I don't know if he ever fought in Pride, but he fought in UFC 1, and then he had a bunch of fights afterwards. But talk about juicy days. There's this one video. One of his fighters, I forgot who it was, but he jumps in the cage, and his arm is like this freaking big. He's just like this, and then like 3 months later, he's like this small again. It's like, I'm not on anything. Like, dude, you lost like 40 pounds of muscle.
No, he just lost the water weight, man. That's what that is. That's water weight.
Those are that synthol injections.
Have you seen those guys, Preston? It's really big in Brazil.
Yeah,
So
I know what
they-
you're talking about.
They shoot up the oil.
Ridiculous.
It's silicone. Right?
Yeah.
They
I don't know what it is.
They can't lift
I
a
don't-
coffee cup, but they can. They,
Yeah. But they're like,
yeah,
yeah, that.
yeah, I've seen them.
So
That looks like it hurts, man.
Yeah,
So you see how it's turning blue? Is because his skin can't get any oxygen.
He got
So it's
titties,
like,
man.
yeah, yeah. I was just like,
Yo,
you need to clear your search history after
Yeah, right.
Uh,
Look how unnatural this looks. Look at this guy.
yeah.
he got that from lifting break. What's that? Brake shoes? Something break
Yeah.
He's lifting some rotors.
Yeah, the rotors.
Yeah, rotors. I'm sorry.
Like, I mean, he literally looks like he needs to be wearing a bra.
Yeah.
That's
There-
magic,
there-
man.
There's no jiggle in those though. Jeez.
Look how unnatural this looks, man.
Yo,
No
was that the
facts
man who got
whatsoever.
knocked out in a before an MMA fight?
What?
Russia?
I saw that.
Homeboy,
Yeah.
you just seen on there.
Hold on, wait, look. Sorry, go ahead.
Nah, the Russian person that was on.
The skinny guy with no pecs?
Yeah.
Go,
Like
go
big
down.
Tebow.
Right
That
there.
was-
Up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him.
He got
fight.
knocked out before an MMA fight, I think, right? Or am
The
I wrong?
Russian Popeye.
Like in the third down or
Yeah.
whatever.
But for real, why do people do this?
Because they're idiots.
Look, it
some
says-
people just have body dysmorphia, so they think like, oh, I know chicks like big arms, but it's like, dude, like you have nothing else. You have a bird chest, you got no forearms, no legs, and now you just have these huge. It's like chicks with BBLs that have no legs. You know, they have this huge butt, and then their legs look like chicken legs. And it's like,
Like a lowercase
I'll
B.
believe you.
yeah, like a lowercase b.
Look, his bicep went down to his armpit.
That's nasty, man. Look at that. He worked out so hard his pec dropped. I mean, his bicep dropped, not his pec. Man.
Yeah. But look, this one was a Russian Popeye who injected triceps with oil has life-saving surgery to remove rotting fake muscles.
Yeah.
Like, look
That-
at it. He did.
That's why a lot of them are blue. Like if you look where a lot of their skin is turning blue there because like the oil won't let the oxygen and the blood flow go to the skin, so it just starts dying.
I just want to know why this guy wanted to. He like gave himself tits. Like look at it. Look at his chest.
Oh man!
That's a good laugh, man. That was a good.
Right?
He's living a life, man.
He looks like a
So-
cartoon character.
Is that click on the one that has the arrow, Josh? Up one.
Yeah.
Click on that. Oh, I thought that was what's his name? Keith something, the guy that was Mr. Olympia.
I'll be right back, man.
Yeah, because I think that guy's the guy on the left is Bum, something like Chris Bum or something like that. He's the Arnold Classic physique, Mr. Olympia.
Was it Keith Williams or Keith Lee?
I don't know. It was a black dude. I forgot his name.
Oh,
or yeah,
yeah, Keith
don't know.
Ronnie
Williams.
Coleman.
Keith Williams.
no, yeah. Pull him up. I think we lost Preston again. Oh, there he is.
I'm here.
This guy?
No,
No.
Heath with a H.
Oh, Heath.
Yeah, I think it's Heath something. Yeah, that guy.
Phil Heath.
Yeah, Phil Heath.
Phil Heath. All right. Whoops. Let me get rid of that.
This guy is all natural, guys. There's not a single steroid in his body.
Bro, that's insane.
Jeez. That's crazy.
He is, what does this say? He's 5'9". What does it say? Contest, 240 pounds.
Jeez.
270.
So Rob, imagine. Oh, Rob's gone. But imagine, like, because he said if he was like 5'9" and 350 pounds, he's 5'8", 240 pounds, and look how huge he looks.
Ridiculous.
Can't
All
believe
right.
He can't wipe his own butt though.
Yeah, probably. Well, the amount of money he makes, he has somebody to wipe his ass. Yeah,
he's got a bidet.
yeah, he's got a
Y'all
bidet.
be that
I'm
lucky.
not gonna hate on a bidet.
That's wild, yo.
That's crazy.
5'9". What it was 5'9", right? Yeah, 5'9",
Yeah.
240. That's wild. Like,
Was he
So
on
Rob,
steroids?
heck yeah, he's on everything. He's on all the Mexican supplements.
you could see the muscles in his glutes, man. Like you can see the
Gee.
muscles rippling in his glutes. Like what?
Oh man, no, but did you guys see who just fought? Alexander Volkanovski. Did anybody see that fight? Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch it live, but I saw like all the highlights afterwards. That's basically how I watch fights these days.
And you don't have time, right?
Nah,
I
he
don't,
just
man.
fought.
The good old days. Sit down with your friends and order pizza
Yeah.
and get hammered and watch MMA are over.
Over. I get up
No, but,
so late.
Everybody was saying the reason why, what played a part of him getting slept, besides the guy being really good, is because he just got knocked out against Islam Makhachev.
Yeah, came
Was
back
this the
too
fight?
early.
No, that's
A month ago.
that's Yair.
Yeah, you're.
That was a month. Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the new one, I forgot his name. I think the dude's like 28 or 30, something like that. But apparently he's like a powerhouse. He's just been knocking people out
Yeah,
cold. And
Topuria.
yeah,
Yeah. I knew the name. I just was afraid to try to pronounce it.
Tadpole,
Yeah.
Tadpole, Tadpole.
You sound like Kid Rock on what is it
Joe
called?
Dirt.
Yeah, Joe Dirt. Trying to read the letter.
That please don't tell Joe. Love you. XO XO. Okay, they're stills, so we won't get. Yeah,
It was bad though.
yeah, it was. Because like at least against against Islam, he was kind of like a little bit coherent. Here he was just out.
Gone.
He was just out.
You hate to see that.
I'll slow it down.
Like, you hate to see that. Like, Cody Garbrandt, he was so good for so long, and then he got knocked out by TJ and just fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that's not what happens with Malk, but like,
Bro, he faked that
But
right,
it's-
and then he hit him with the 2-piece.
Yeah, well, with Cody Garbrandt, I don't know what. Like he used to have a good chin, and then after that knockout, is like his chin just went to like it just it just left him.
yeah.
It's
And
crazy.
now there's talk of him going to BKFC as well.
Oh my god.
I don't want to see that.
That's gonna be bad. And it sucks because like when he fought Dominic Cruz, you remember when he fought Dominic Cruz
So
for
smooth, so fluid.
it was crazy. And then
And
I thought,
Dominic was
okay,
like the guy who created that style.
mm-hmm,
That, like,
the foot movement and
real
everything.
Slick, real slick head movements, footwork.
Mm-hmm.
And he
created
put
it,
it.
and
He put him to shame. Yeah. And then, like, what? That's why I was so excited to see him fight TJ because I'm like, all right, because before Dominic Cruz, he would just, all right, I'm gonna go knock this dude out. He'd get in his face and just like slobber knocker. You know what I mean? I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna beat the crap out of him. Dominic Cruz was like, he evolved into like, I still know I can knock you out, but I can move.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose when I do it.
Exactly. And then he fought TJ, and I guess because him and TJ were butting heads so bad, he tried to go again to that style, and TJ was way too slick.
Yeah.
Way too slick. And then he TKO'd him both times. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then after that,
TJ
it was
on
just
the juice too. But
oh yeah, he was on EPO.
yeah,
Yeah, he was on EPO.
making
they
faster, basically.
It's just some kind of steroid, but apparently it like makes your blood really really thick.
It
Like they
oxygenizes your blood, so
Mhm.
you can work out harder and recover faster, and so it doesn't like make you bigger or anything, but
just got more endurance.
it gives you an edge.
Okay.
They
So
should
you
just
feel-
have like a juiced
Pride, man, bring back pride.
yeah,
But they don't
'cause-
test for it.
yeah.
No, they
Or no,
encourage
they
it.
They test, and then they put that like on your fight like stat. You got
You
You
love
got a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
10,000,
World champ.
20,000.
He's also on all of these drugs.
So they can dial it in.
yeah. Okay, so the problem is you got like 15-year-old kids at home taking notes on if I want to be that good, I need to take what?
Right.
Then you've got the
Give me
kid
the list
going to
again.
Blockbuster. You got the kid going to Blockbuster, like, and then he's like recording it. He's replaying it, pausing it.
I gotta get this list.
I gotta get it right. How do I
The
type it long?
USADA test. We gotta look at this USADA test.
Oh yeah, they got rid of USADA, so let's see what happens.
This says EPO was developed to counteract effects of chemotherapy radiation, and it stimulates increased wound healing. And because of its physiological side effects, particularly increased hematocrit, which is like the percentage of red blood cells in your blood.
Yeah.
Yep.
EPO became a drug with abuse potential by professional and amateur bicyclists.
They're all on drugs too.
And then it went to
How many years-
UFC.
How many
fighters,
years did that take them to
bodybuilders.
figure that out?
Man, I mean, could you imagine though? I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like the people who are on chemotherapy are like at their weakest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
so weak, and there's so many side effects from the radiation and the intravenous drugs that they're getting. So, I mean, there's no surprise there that it could bolster, the UFC fighters, professional athletes, bodybuilders.
It's crazy that the bikers got to it first, man.
You think that's how?
Dude.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, so the cyclist is one of the dirtiest sports. So like they took Neil Armstrong's all of his championships away, which is bullcrap, because if they wanted to find somebody that wasn't on some kind of performance enhancing drug, they would. It was like he was like the 39th placement. So the 38 people in the front, they were all
also on drugs.
Yeah, they were all on drugs. And so okay,
drugs, they're enhancement.
Sorry, they were on the good stuff.
Excuse me.
Things I can't afford. Because I can't get them.
Would you be on them, Dimitri?
With guidance of a doctor, yes.
So you mean the motherfucker selling material in the black market?
Preston dropped out again. He said he lost the sound.
If the doctor, usually a week or two, usually it's a week, but every time I have a doctor's appointment, 1 week before I have to go and get my blood drawn. And then I go to my appointment and they're like, okay, well, let's take a look at your blood. You know what I mean? So that's like a standard every single time. You have to get your blood analyzed so the doctor can see where you're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just like, dang, dude, like all
did
these,
that to me.
it's crazy how many drugs that these guys are on, man. Like for everything, like increased oxygenation to the muscles. You know what I mean? And for stuff for like muscle spasms, even pain relievers, anti-inflammatories. You know.
Shit, Chris Lieben was a walking drugstore when he was fighting. According to him, pain pills, not enhancements. I'm sorry, pain pills.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Did you see him on BKFC?
Yes, I did.
Chris Lieben.
He was built for that.
Yeah, he was.
That left hand is like Dan Henderson's right, man.
Yeah. And Mike Perry.
Yeah.
On BKFC.
He's the champ right now. He's like,
Alan Belcher was on there.
Really?
Alan Belcher, yeah, he won the title.
Against who? I don't know who's fighting over there. I know Luke Rockhold
I don't remember. Yeah, Luke Rockhold got destroyed.
Alan Belcher is the one that got that funny tattoo of that man's face on his arm, right?
Johnny Cash, yeah.
He's Johnny Cash, yeah.
He beat Polaris when nobody else wanted to fight Polaris because he was breaking everybody's legs. Alan went in and beat him up.
Yep.
I've talked to Alan a few times. Alan's a cool dude.
Yeah, Paul Harris was freaking like everybody was scared of him. It wasn't that okay, I'm gonna lose. Like, no, he's gonna take my leg home. Like I will be in the hospital for and recovering.
Yeah.
This crazy.
This evening.
Yeah. If I let him do this leg lock, I'm done. I'm done.
He's been boxing though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant Paul Harris. I was like, God dang.
No, Alan. No. He did fight. He fought in Gamebred fighting, Masvidal's.
Yeah.
His thing, because they got bare knuckle MMA, and he fought. Was it Roy Nelson that he fought and beat?
Roy Nelson.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's who he. Fought just a few months ago.
Rory Nelson got a good chin.
Now, he beat him though. They were trying to hook up. Who's the real big dude? Why did I just forget his name? Big hairy dude.
That's a
Big
lot of them.
hairy.
Big,
Was it European?
big hairy back.
Big Andre Avlosky, he has a
Yeah,
hairy back.
That's
Yeah,
what
he does have
Tim
a hairy
Sylvia?
back, but he ain't that big. Tim
Tim
Sylvia.
Sylvia.
No, what is he doing?
I don't know. I was wondering the same thing.
He had a tramp stamp.
Jardine.
Yeah,
Keith
Keith Jardine.
The Dean of Mean.
Yeah, the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine. He like got into acting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. But he got Chuck Liddell though, man. With that little.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the stuff that doesn't make
That
sense.
made me a little sad, man. Seeing that, man. Keith Jardine doing.
Well, he was chopping his leg, so Keith Jardine just kept kicking him in the legs, and then he eventually caught him.
He caught him with that little. I don't know what he called this shit he used to do. What did he call that? You know what I mean?
He always had that.
Never made that work.
You remember that uppercut he used to do? He would be like,
double punch.
yeah.
What's his name? Alexander something. The light skinned man that looked like Carmen.
Houston Alexander.
Yeah, Houston Alexander. When
he
he
fights
got
him,
used to Alexander and dropped him, and Alexander got up and like smashed on the Dean of Mean, man.
Then he fought Kimbo
too.
Slice.
I'm sorry,
Ooh.
but I heard two things at one time.
I was saying, remember, didn't he fight Kimbo Slice?
Houston
Oh, that-
Alexander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. hmm
Yeah.
I don't think Houston. I'm not Houston. I don't think Kimbo Slice was made for MMA. He should have just stuck with boxing.
Well, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people were just giving him a bunch of money,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
He's doing
like,
those street fight stuff and like backyard
Him and
brawls
Matt-
and all that.
Him and Mastodon, Jorge fought, with the same people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
Jorge Masvidal. I don't know how to say it properly.
You got it.
Masvidal.
hmm
You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta talk in cursive a little bit to to say it right. Masvidal.
He's a beast too, man. Masvidal, whatever, man.
Masvidal. Yeah, he had that resurgent, but when he fought what was his name? The ex UFC champ, welterweight. What was his name?
A lot of them.
No, it was the black dude. God dang! How did I forget this man's name? He was like one of the best welterweights ever.
Did he fight
Kamaru?
Usman?
Yeah, Kamaru Usman. Yeah, when he fought him the second time, he was way too cocky.
Yeah.
Like he was way too cocky. When he got caught, so like his corner had poured a whole bottle of water on his head. So when Kamaru Usman caught him with the cross, it was like, and they froze it after the hit, and it's just like this big poof of water coming out of his hair because he had the cornrows and everything. Yeah.
Love it.
I made this one video back in the day. It's like a bare knuckle Russian fight. And this dude, he like the guy's like taunting him, and the guy like throws a lazy jab, and when he throws the lazy jab, the guy like counters and was like poop poop, and when he hit him, he was like, and his legs are like up in the air like this, and he's like trying to, and then you hear his girlfriend go, ah!
You know how it is on. You remember on Fight Night how they showed him on a boat and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the commercial.
Yeah.
And the bees stinging him.
Yeah.
You back it up.
Right here.
The spit, like everything, the sweat, the spit, everything just. It's like you can see the mist just flying out. Man, it's crazy.
It lags a little bit.
Yeah, we can't see it as smooth as you can, Joshy.
I think it's time to upgrade Riverside.
Yeah. Why? So they could screw us over some more for some more money.
Nah,
It's
for
only
us.
good for a month, and then after that, it gets a little bit of work. Then they come out with a better one.
No, for 120 frame or 60 to 120 frame streaming, or for video shares.
It can always get better and worse at the same time. Remember that.
Hey guys, I'm gonna jump off.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Fun having you on. Hopefully, you will join us again.
I'd love to, man. It was fun.
Yeah.
You guys have a good one.
You too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Preston. Have a good night.
Yeah.
God bless.
Before you go, can we do the outro?
Well, he jumped back and forth. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
You're
right.
good, Preston.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. See you,
Thank you
man.
so much.
All right.
God bless.
That was awesome.
And everybody, don't forget, check out guardians-us.org. You can check out the website. It's a nonprofit organization here. I'll go ahead and share it one more time for y'all. They help with people who are victims of domestic violence. And you can so you can donate here. They're veteran operated. And there's so much support and resources for people who are victims of domestic violence and assault. So
Just
go ahead and check
violence
them
in
out.
general.
Yeah,
And then
so check them out. Yeah,
And also his Preston's TikTok is Preston Family Pastor, but his handle is Saved and Savage. If you want to pull that up, Josh.
Saved and Savage is his TikTok.
Yo.
Yep.
Lately, we've
All
been
right, I'll pull
having
that
some really cool people on here, man. Oh, my fault.
No, it's all good. Saved and Savage.
Yep. So he has a bunch of stuff on there. He has he does a lot of training videos, as you can see.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I
Yep.
was already following him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wait, this is the 2A account. All right, so yeah, here's his.
Is that 2A Brothers? Is that my account?
Yeah, I think it's the 2. Yeah, the one we set up, the podcast one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So here we go. Faith, fighting, and fatherhood on the road to 30K. So he's almost there. 7,000. Oh, yeah.
Well, click on follow back.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought I did already, but yeah. So he's got all his videos here. Check them out.
Yep.
Pastor
He's a cool dude.
Preston H. Hickok, I think.
I thought it was Hoker.
Hoker, yeah. I don't want to
Butcher the last name.
Yeah, let me not do that.
Tahi. Hi. this is Brandy. I don't tell Joe that I found his parents.
Hawker.
XO. 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 All right.
Preston Hawker.
All right.
Thank you again, and don't forget that was all. I'll post the links. So thank you guys so much.
As always, God bless. Jesus King.
I know your time is precious, and I appreciate you spending it with us. Y'all have a great night.
Jesus is King.
God
Amen.
is good.
Hallelujah.
Once you get into that, you start getting into a situation, the slippery slope, where all of a sudden you're going to really violate the Second Amendment. I don't want to do anything to violate the Second Amendment. To me, the Second Amendment is very important.
I love that shine, man.
Amen.